Words just fail what we've just seen. We've just seen history in the making. Australian sporting history. I'm trying to get my head around the fact that an Australian has won the Tour de France. Matty White.
It is, Tomo, it's going to be one of the biggest sporting achievements that an Australian has ever. It's humongous. We've been waiting for it for a very, very long time.
Well, Matty, we've been waiting for this for 108 years. It's 108 years in the making. This is a French institution. It's a European sport. How can an Australian come to these shores and do what Cadel Evans has done today?
Yeah, it's one of those things that Cadel has been waiting for 7 years. He's come very close on a couple of occasions, and now he's finally achieved the biggest goal in the world of cycling, the Tour de France.
He should be given the biggest accolades from everybody back home, because what Cadel has done over the last 3 weeks, Matt, is something simply extraordinary. He's come here with so much focus. We've spoken about it over the last 3 weeks. He's come here with so much preparation. He's with a happy team. He's in a happy camp. BMC Racing have been so good to this man, and he really has rewarded them duly today.
Yeah, he's been a different man since he won the world title. It's what a relief. The biggest one-day race in the world, the champion of the world, and he has really relaxed. You've noticed his temperament has changed a lot, and he's been under humongous pressure this year. Yesterday, the problems he had with his bike. The day before, taking the responsibility of the Tour de France to chase Andy Schleck. He's handled it very well, and he deserves every accolade.
Let's have a look at some of the overlay. Andy Schleck blew out, but Cadel Evans, his riding style, magnificent. And to think that he almost picked up stage honours today over Tony Martin, that's extraordinary in itself.
It does, and especially after the last 2 days he's had in the Alps. Today's stage was a very, very hard time trial. It did suit Cadel's characteristics. It was a real slug, not a high average speed, and Cadel came very close to beating the second best time trial in the world, Tony Martin, as you can see coming down the finish.
Well, look at the grit and determination on his face. He's been displaying that sort of determination virtually from day one. He picked up a stage win on the 4th day of racing. It was up the Mur de Bretagne. And look, he has never put anything but a front foot forward. It's been magnificent. And when you go back to 2007 and 2008, when he was with Silence Lotto, a team he was never happy with, and to be here as a champion of the Tour, look at the words just fail me. It is magnificent. And Cadel Evans, I salute you, because you are a champion in every way.
It is a very emotional scene for everyone involved in the cycling in Australia. And it's a very, very proud moment. And I don't think it's really hit Cadel. As you can see, the emotions on his face. He's just won the Tour de France. And
look, he's struck a smile for the first time. And I haven't seen that from Cadel since he made his debut here in 2005 when he's racing. This is beautiful. It's a special moment. He's got the yellow jersey, and what a time to have it on the penultimate stage of the Tour de France. This is like winning football's World Cup. This is something special. This is the biggest sporting event in the world every year, and an Australian has wrapped it up, mate. I can't believe it.
It's and looking back at the Tour, I think in hindsight, Cadel not getting the yellow jersey, missing it by 1 second, was the best possible thing for Cadel. It took a lot of pressure off the team onto the shoulders of Garmin. And that was great because he could just sit there, avoid the crashes. They rode a perfect first 10 days. And then he's taken the yellow jersey 1 day before Paris.
You know, Matty, there was a couple of moments, especially in the last 2 days, when I thought all things were going pear-shaped for Cadel. He was having mechanicals and, he had to make up time, bridge the gap to the likes of Andy Schleck and Alberto Contador, and I thought for a moment there, but he fought back. He dug deep. He just didn't give up. That white flag wasn't raised at all.
No one ever, I think, was critical of Cadel's grit and determination in his whole career. But this tour was this year was very, very calculated. From the first race he didn't have a big race program, and every race he went to this year, he went to win. He had some super results, and out of all the problems he had this year, he kept his cool, and he's pulled it off.
Well, he started the year with a victory in the Tirreno Adriatico in Italy, which was a big pre-season, not a pre-season race, but an early season race held in March. He conquered that. Some 6 weeks later, he went to Romandy and came first in that particular race, a very big mid-season race just after the Classics, finishing second in the Dauphiné. And that race, the Dauphiné, is held around these parts of France. Second, the perfect preparation.
The perfect preparation. People said, is Cadel going to be going good enough at the Dauphiné to win the Tour de France? People looking at Wiggins, who gave him a good beating in the Dauphiné, but the Dauphiné's in June. Cadel was all about the month of July, and he's proved his preparation was 100% to the team.
Well, going into this stage, a lot of us couldn't really pick a winner. It was too close to call. They said Andy Schleck has the gunpowder to cause an upset. But look, Andy Schleck just blew up, and we'll get your thoughts on Andy Schleck in just a moment, Matty, because I can hear the music being fired up for the presentations. Tony Martin, let's not discount this young fellow, 26 years of age, a German with HTC High Road. He wins almost every race against the clock that he competes in, and he is up on the stage now collecting stage 20 of the Tour de France. Yeah, Tony Martin, let's say a few words about this fellow. You'd like to have him in your Australian team, I'm sure.
Tony Martin, besides Fabian Cancellara, there is no better time trialer in the world. And today he's even beaten Fabian. Yeah, there's not more to say. I think this year he's done 6 time trials and won 5 out of 6 time trials. It's one impressive effort. And we saw last year in Geelong World Championships, he punctured in the final and still held on for the bronze medal. And Fabian, Tony Martin are the 2 most outstanding time trials in the world. And I'm very happy for Tony because he's come very close on numerous occasions at the Tour, and today's his day.
Look, I'm not sure when the yellow presentation will be made for the jersey, but I don't think it's too far away. It might indeed be the next presentation. We're going to pause, and I urge you, everybody back home on your lounge rooms, chairs, watching the coverage, or wherever you are, bars and pubs across Australia, stand up. And a big round of applause for Cadel Evans when he makes his way to receive the yellow jersey for the first time, and it won't be the last time. How good is that? Very special moment. And a lot of work has gone into this moment. Well, that's beautiful. Natty, talk to me, please.
What can you say? It's Cadel. Look at him. He's fighting the emotions. It's the biggest day of his sporting life. You think he was big when he won the World Championships a couple of years ago, but this is the creme de la creme of professional cycling, and he's achieved both. There's nothing left more to him to see besides win a gold medal next year in London.
Oh, perish the thought, Whitey. Look, he's worn the yellow jersey before, but never so close to the end of the Tour de France, a 3-week marathon, and I can understand the emotion he's going through because a lot of people work so hard to put him in this position. A lot of people, not just here at BMC Racing, but also within Australian cycling, yourself, and this sport goes back decades. It goes back more than 100 years, but as far as the professional scene is concerned, it's relatively new. And it was the likes of Phil Anderson who have made this possible. People like yourself, Stuart O'Grady, Robbie McEwen, Michael Rogers, Alan Davis, the list just goes on, and the wave of Aussies that have come over here.
And will keep coming.
And keep coming to make this happen is a reward for everybody involved, I think, in Australian cycling.
Yeah, I think as a nation in the world of sport, we punch way above our average population-wise. And the thing that really does make cycling...
It's a beautiful day. It's a glorious day. And I tell you why. An Australian has won the world's greatest bike race, the Tour de France, and we're still trying to get our head around that. We can now cross to the winner of the Tour de France, and that'll all take place tomorrow with the homecoming into Paris, the Champs-Elysees. Let's now cross to Cadel Evans, and Dave McKenzie is speaking to him.
Oh, there's always more to go, and we're still going to cross the finish line in Paris tomorrow. That's my main focus right now, actually, getting through there without any trouble. Aldo Sassi said to me last year, he said, now you've won the Worlds, it's you've made yourself a complete rider, but you can win a Grand Tour, and I hope for you it's the Tour de France. Even if you win any Grand Tour, it'll make you a truly complete rider. But I hope he said, I hope for you it's the Tour de France, and it was him from the end of, it's a little bit of unofficially, it was he who believed in me from October 2001, and never for one day he doubted in my abilities. He never gave up in me, and working, went through good and bad, because I've had some bad moments in the last 10 years, but that just makes the good moments even better.
The time trial today, you crushed the opposition. There was always that question mark, 57 seconds. Is it too much? Is it not enough? But you absolutely crushed the opposition. You almost won the stage. You were on a mission, weren't you? How did you feel? Did you feel any different to other time trials at the Tour de France? Because you've done some great time trials here.
Yeah, the thing in past years, 2007, Contador had a really particularly good day that day. I had an average day. I think I was 7th or 8th or something, but I didn't have a bad day. 2008, I was injured. I was exhausted. I was so on my limit absolutely every day. But I mean, on my limit, just getting in and out of bed, having a shower. It's so fatiguing and so stressful. Physically, emotionally, it's so difficult that then you go to a time trial. Any weakness you have, it really shows out, and that's where everyone was, oh yeah, for sure I'm going to win. For sure I'm going to win. I pulled up short, but that was still the hardest tour I ever rode in my life. That 2008. Today, just went through the processes like we have a plan every day. Plan was A, B, C, D. Follow the plan, do the best we can, and see what we can. We came up a few seconds short for the stage, but it was. I'll look back at it in time and when I had time to reflect on it. But yeah, we'll see.
Riding in to Paris on the Champs tomorrow, I know it's still a stage to go, but you'll be in the yellow jersey. How will that feel?
I hope the sun's out.
The sun, it'll be shining certainly. Cadel Evans, congratulations.